We have Josh Blackman with us now, a constitutional law professor at South Texas College of Law in Houston. He's on Skype from there now. We'll come on to some of the political ramifications in a moment, but first, the woman herself, and I said this to our correspondent, the fact that people are coming out late on a Friday night to the Supreme Court to mourn the passing of a judge, that doesn't always happen.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a giant, and I don't use that word literally. She was quite small, but she was a giant of constitutional law. For nearly 50 years, she was at the center of all the major legal developments in our country. And we are also saddened profoundly and deeply by her loss. This was not what we expected to happen now. We thought she'd pull through, at least maybe for some more time, but this is really tragic.
And so comes the process of replacing her, and Alan's, outlined this for us, but really the fact that the Republicans are going to push ahead with, 6 weeks to the election? It's not surprising that it flies completely in the face of what happened 4 years ago, but there is a level of, some might say, hypocrisy there.
I think everyone's flipped positions, both Republican and Democrat. In 2016, the Democrats said the president has a right to pick his nominee and the person should get a hearing. Republicans said no hearing. Now Republicans say hearing and Democrats say no hearing. So everyone's flipping from side to side. I think this is politics at its worst. I think there are a couple things that can happen. Trump will probably make a nominee. The first step in the process, he makes a nomination. The second step is there's a hearing before a Senate committee. Then the Senate committee votes, and there's a full vote of the entire Senate. Trump can probably make the nomination. They might be able to get a hearing before the election, although it'll probably be tight. I think it's very unlikely they have a vote before the election, but you might get a vote after the election. It could even be that some senators who lost their election as lame ducks, as we call them in the States, can vote to fill the Ginsburg seat. That is very likely to happen before January.
Any thoughts on replacements, on who might be nominated? The last two nominees who've been successfully confirmed, that is Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch, both younger men, which illustrates the idea of having them there for a longer time, changing the makeup of the court for a longer time.
I think the odds-on favorite is a appellate judge in Indiana. Her name is Amy Coney Barrett. She was a former law professor. She's been in the court now for a few years. She's very well liked, she's well regarded, and she's been on Trump's shortlist for some time. So I think that's probably going to be the person we see put forward very soon.
Josh Blackman joining us from Houston as we mark the passing of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you so much.